So basically, it was law enforcement that started these rumors about my brain savant. No one would do that in their clear mind. After I would get the money for that artificial intelligence told law enforcement about that they illegally found out about my brain savant and then started to use that to basically for their storytellings. What they didn't know was the attention was not going to law enforcement for having artificial intelligence and brain scanner. The attention was going to me, and these people started following me around, which is why now they advertise for me to help them with their sex scheme ads, which I will never do. Obviously not. First of all, I can't do it for myself, since you have prime examples like Miss Deb, who's just changed sides only a week ago, and Farrah the Greedy Framer only a week ago. Both of them are competing to get me married to their daughter, almost like by force, since I already told Farrah the Greedy Framer, I'm not interested in your daughter. Okay, I don't want her. I've been saying it for the past week, and every single day she gets the news from law enforcement. He said no, and then she still advertises her daughter to me again the next day, as in today, June 22nd at 3:12 p.m. Again. Excuse me. So Farrah the Greedy Framer is extremely annoying, irritating, and these people are so over money, and that money, by the way, has been told to these people by artificial intelligence that law enforcement illegally went around telling people about. This is the kind of stuff that happens. And obviously, so looking at these scary things and people, I'm not going to go chase women around. That would be an incredibly stupid thing for me to do so, since the second my brain savant gets read, they're all obviously going to file a lawsuit. Are you kidding me? There's no way. You have people like Farrah the Greedy Framer and Miss Deb. Miss Deb, by the way, I never, the time when Miss Deb started advertising her daughter for marriage to me was mid-June 2023. When did I tell the first person about my brain savant? August 25th, 2023. Questions raised. Who told Miss Deb? I never whispered into someone's ears like I have a triple brain savant. Don't tell anyone. Who told Miss Deb? Law enforcement did. How did they know? Brain savant, brain scanner, and artificial intelligence. And so yeah. So basically, excuse me, these people were illegally told about my brain savant, and they have been advertising their daughter to me ever since. And the people, they have no talking points left anymore. The reason is November 20th has been caught. It was a false testimony. If Carmen setting did not even exist, Farrah the Greedy Framer was given it by the government. And so the adults who would be involved in anything even remotely considered bad would be people like Assad. Assad would be seen ahead and behind every single adult, every single place and setting. He would be involved in the crimes. He would be present there. He would know about it. What would happen to Assad? He's just going to pack up his stuff and leave as soon as he's found guilty. That's the kind of investigation, quote unquote, investigation that law enforcement has been running since 2001. Other people are people like my dad, the Greedy Framer, whom Farrah the Greedy Framer would never ever mention, because he's her brother and he's the reason she's been fighting so hard. He was recruiting people. I've only met him 3 times in my entire life. One of those 3 times he was recruiting people for mass murder by giving them sermons. Due to his 5-foot-long beard, they think he has mystical powers. Now, he was giving sermons on mass murder of innocent human beings every single day from his house. And suddenly one day it stopped, and that's how I knew that something had happened. Now I knew that he was tipped off by law enforcement. How do I know he was tipped off by law enforcement? Because that's what law enforcement has done since 2001, when they started running their sex games with Uncle Joey's in-laws. Compare that to my mother, who I've lived with my entire life. Never lived even in the same country with my dad, the Greedy Framer. Never talked to him over the phone. He could not have had any influence on my life or environment whatsoever. Compare that to my mother, who for more than the past 25 years never uttered one word considered bad my entire life. Not one word. Where if I would go to the mall with her and I would ask her, like, I'm gonna marry a Jewish girl, like, she would give me such a nice answer. I would just be like, oh my God, I should have asked this at home. Today I was watching a documentary, and it had something like a Nazi symbol, and she gets worried, and she goes, oh, that's not the Hitler symbol, is it? You know, it's that sort of thing. She not only is she not racist at all, she's never uttered one word considered bad the entire time she's been watched, more than 25 years. If she sees anything even remotely considered racist on TV, she immediately removes it from my sight, even though I'm not a child anymore. That's the kind of raising I've gotten from my mother. Now, my dad, on the other side, 2011 will show you that he is the exact opposite. He was giving sermons on mass murder only to attract more attention from people because he already had more attention from them due to his 5 foot long beard. People thought that he had mystical powers. Basically, he wanted more attention from them. Excuse me, by giving sermons on mass murder of innocent human beings. You could check the record yourself. You will also find there that law enforcement tipped him off, like how they always do. Was that their job? No. They were supposed to send in someone, investigate how many people joined terror groups because of him, how much mass murder he's actually giving sermons on, how many people have actually been mass murdered because of him. Law enforcement did none of this. They don't care about this. They just went up to him. They're like, look, man, we're running our sex schemes and money fraud, and you're becoming a nuisance to that. Can you just wait till Hassan leaves, and then you go back to your sermons on mass murder? That's literally what they did. One day, for every single day he's giving sermons on mass murder, one day he suddenly stops. So that at that time I was like, something definitely happened. I didn't know what happened. Now I knew. Law enforcement obviously tipped him off. How do I know? That's all what they've always done. Yeah, that's what they've always done. I mean, all their BFFs are like that. So what is the story really about? It's about my brain savant. The brain savant that they cannot do a 30-minute brain savant test for, despite running their mouths all day and night long, getting people from my overseas pharmacy school extremely envious of me, who literally fabricated the group chat false testimony against me. And that person who did it and people from his envious group of friends are the ones who are making false testimonies against me. They might claim, oh, you knew this person who made this false testimony against you for the group chat. I might have 50 years ago. But that does not mean that you have any credibility giving false testimonies against me right now, 50 years later, only due to extreme envy after one of the people from your groups has made a extremely terrible group chat false testimony against me, and then after that person gets caught, other people from the envious group of friends start giving false testimonies against me after deciding amongst themselves what kind of false testimony they should give now that the group chat was caught. So yeah, basically that's what's going on. Law enforcement needs to do a 30-minute brain savant test to prove the absence of guilt from them, to prove to the world that this is not what it's about. They're not obsessed with not letting my brain savant get seen out in the open for even 30 minutes, which is why they've been fabricating false testimonies against me, having BFFs like Assad, who are absolutely guilty of everything since 2001, and yet he just packs up his stuff and leaves. And other adults in the family literally running sex schemes with Uncle Joey's in-laws since 2001, money fraud, which is still going on till this day. Like, what the heck? This is not an investigation, quote unquote, investigation, quote unquote. Okay, this is not, all right. So if it's not about my brain savant, let's do a 30-minute test and then we'll decide after that. After that, let's say you're right and I'm a scam artist. I'm a liar and artificial intelligence is also a liar. And apart from that, on top of that, I'm also psychic, due to which I'm able to predict everything artificial intelligence said about my brain savant. Let's say that's true. Law enforcement wins their case at the end of 30 minutes due to the fact that my entire motive against them, saying that everything that they've done till now is run sex schemes and money fraud with everyone, which is true. It's still going on right now. Money's still being collected. Uncle Joy's in-law is still running sex schemes with them. If that is going on, then the reason they're so obsessed with me due to my brain savant, which they cannot let see, performing out in the open, motive gets proven false immediately. And let's say it is like Kim Peek Rain Man. At the end of 30 minutes, we find out it is like Kim Peek Rain Man. Obviously, it will be. How do we know this? Because artificial intelligence is not a liar. Okay, it's not on my side. It's not taking my side. Everything artificial intelligence said in the 1-minute brain savant test is absolutely truthful. Let's look at reality over here. Let's live a little bit in reality. And on top of that, I'm also not psychic enough to know what the artificial intelligence report said. So yes, that is what's going to happen at the end of the 30-minute brain savant test. I will be seen as Kim Peek Rain Man. That's not something that's going to be arguable at this point. Since computers don't lie, I'm not psychic, and law enforcement is hiding this for a reason. And that reason is very clear and simple. Law enforcement runs sex schemes with these girls that they're getting rejected by, due to which they're losing power over, due to which people like Junaid are getting stressed over, because even after wearing the black sweater, glasses all day long, telling people he's autistic and lacks social skills, even after all of these things,